welcome to another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
I'm Chris Costa.
Chris, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I thought we could talk about the new feature on the customer to automatically add the next customer account number.
Sure. So as you said, it's a new button on the customer account where you can click a button and have it just generate the next number. Mm-hmm. And you would set that starting number with all the other starting numbers, like estimates and orders, in the starting numbers feature in system settings.
Okay. Yes, if we could take a look at how we might set that up, that'd be
sure.
great.
So I'm going to come over here and open up File Maintenance. And I'm going to go to the File menu. And we'll go down to Starting Numbers. So here's where, as you know, you would set the next order number, estimate number, RFQ, PO number. And here we have the new field for next customer account. All of these fields are numeric, and they will increment by 1 each time. But the fields themselves are alpha-numeric. They let you store numbers and letters, and that's why in some of them we have prefixes and suffixes that you can put in, because when you actually create the new estimate number, order number, and customer number, they do get stored in the database as an alphanumeric field.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So let's take a look at the customer account and where you'd assign it.
Okay, sure.
So I'm going to go into Customers, and I'm going to add a new customer. And now the first thing I can do here is I can say next number. And then it populates the account number field here with the next number. At the same time, it incremented the number, so back in the starting numbers, we'll now say 5004. And it basically saves it for me now, so it's grayed out. Now this customer that I'm building here will be set to that particular number.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. So that makes sense there. Now, you mentioned the other starting numbers. Are there any other specific recommendations with the estimates of the orders that we might make a suggestion for people?
Sure. As I said, let me go back into starting numbers here for a minute. You can do a prefix, you can do a suffix for order numbers, for estimate numbers, for PO numbers, because it is an alphanumeric field. And you have to understand that because that affects how these fields will get sorted in estimates and orders and in purchasing. If you do put a prefix in, one thing you got to be aware of, well, now when you go to search for things, if you're going to search with the beginning first few numbers, you're always going to have to enter that prefix in. So that's a consideration. Right. Mm-hmm. Some people do put OR in front of orders, but then they always have to enter in the OR. So you just have to understand that before you decide to use that methodology. You might be better off using a suffix. Some people like to put the year, like -17, in as the suffix. So you could do something like that. However, you also have to realize that with estimate numbers, order numbers, customer numbers, because they are alphanumeric, they will sort alphanumeric. And let's take a look at what that means.
Okay.
So I'm going to go into Estimating Order Entry. And for example here, I have a list of estimates, and I've kind of played around a little bit with the numbers here. I've changed my numbering scheme, as you can see. Well, let's take this list and let's sort it descending. So when I've sorted descending, 99 is at the top, and I've got 100 at the bottom. Let me go switch it and sort it ascending. So I'll leave it all blank. So now I've got 100 at the top, but I've got 99 at the bottom. So you can see that it's not really sorting ascending numerically. 99 is less than 100. Because with an alphanumeric sort, it's always going to look at the first digit and sort those first, then look at the next digit. So it's looking at each placeholder. Mm-hmm. And that's what an alphanumeric sort is.
Right.
But now if you look at the second two that I did, I set my numbers at one time up to, I guess that's 100,000, or maybe it's 1,000,000, however many zeros are in there. But by putting that one with a bunch of zeros before it, now it's going to sort of like an alphanumeric, sort of like a numeric sort as it increments the numbers, because now I've got that first digit in there, and I've got the zeros holding those placeholders for me. So if you want to use a complete numbering system, then it's a good recommendation to put in a large number here for order numbers and estimate numbers. Maybe 100,000 or maybe 1,000,000, depending on how many orders you do in a year.
So you'll never get to 10 million and go to the next level. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, the same thought with the customers. You could do the same thing and have, a large number like that if you want to use that next customer number. If you're not going to use customer numbers or use the next number feature, you may want to use your customer accounts with like maybe 3 letters, the first 3 letters of the customer account and a number, or do something like that in a numbering or naming convention for the account number so that you can sort properly.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
That makes sense.
Any other questions?
No, I think that was great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of EPMS Tech Talk. I'm Joanne LaFlamme.
I'm Chris Costa.
Please look forward for more to come.